Alright, so recently I played Devil May Cry 5, and it's great, but there are a few things keeping it from being amazing. So, I'm gonna go through what worked in the game and what really didn't. So, without further ado, I'm gonna start with the good, and then we're gonna start with the bad. So, I'm gonna start in gameplay. With the gameplay, it's amazing and one of the funnest games when it comes to the like hack and slash kind of type of games, and like Devil May Cry in the series and other kind of games like that. The combat itself has a variety of weapons and lets you switch from character to character, so it adds an amazing level of variety. Nero and V are so different to where it never makes the game feel repetitive, and it makes it feel unique, kind of, because they have different moves, different, like, skill sets, everything. The combat variety itself, though, with all the weapons in the game, you can do like some seriously cool combos, and it honestly makes the game fun to play because you can switch on the fly, and it feels really fluid and organic, and it feels really nice and fun to use. There's like so many upgrades as well for V, Dante, and Nero, and combos with each weapon and everything like that. So. And also, the weapons in this game are fucking crazy. Especially Dante's. Dante gets the best weapons. Dante has a rocket launcher to a motorcycle to even a fucking cowboy hat. And you have different arms with Nero that really add a gameplay element to it. And V has his spirits, which they're all play different. They all work different. You have to learn each one of them, and it's really nice. And I love how that aspect works in this game. And it really adds like a new level to where you're learning like 3 different characters. You're not learning the same character just 3 times. Like it really feels unique. And so the soundtrack for this game is really fucking amazing too. It's like on Metal Gear Rising type like soundtrack, which is really, the Metal Gear Rising soundtrack is really fucking good. And it's really awesome. And what the cool thing is, it's tied to like your rank. So the better you do, the more it'll play with like the actual lyrics, and it'll play the actual full song and everything. And so it kind of pushes you to do the best you can in each fight, which I really like. That's the element I have not seen in any game really, and stuff like that. So another thing I want to talk about is the voice acting. The voice acting with any Capcom game, I feel like it's over the top. Resident Evil has it. I'm a really big fan of Resident Evil. I'm not even gonna lie. Resident Evil has it.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Street Fighter I haven't really played, but Devil May Cry has it too. And Devil May Cry, I love the over the top. I love the over the top acting though, honestly, from Resident Evil. And this game I found to like even more. I know some scenes there's just where it's just Nero yelling and getting mad and angry, but it's stupid and I love it, and it doesn't have to take itself seriously. And Nero definitely has the most over-the-top lines, but I love Nero as a character in this game. He's amazing. But the enemy types, as well as the bosses, the enemy types are actually pretty cool in this game. They're pretty cool. They have an interesting design, and you have to attack them in different ways. I mean, it doesn't make you like think, like actually like strategize, like. It makes you strategize how you're gonna play, but it doesn't like take like, it doesn't take that long. It's just like mash a certain button and then you'll get through it. But I like the different enemy designs in the game, and it was interesting. But the bosses, while they aren't memorable, they're still fun to fight. Like they aren't like boring ass like bullshit like other games where they just have bosses just to be there, and they feel like a fucking a stopping point of the plot. Like they feel like they're just in the way, and but they aren't too memorable. Except for Urizen. Urizen is fun at first, but you fight him about 5,000 fucking times. So the story makes you fight him like 5,000 times. Like literally, you fight him like 10 times because the story demands you to. And it's like, okay, yeah. It's like after the 4th time, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe maybe we don't have to do this again. It also adds a character switch / online mode, so you can play as any character as you want, which is really cool. So if you get tired of Dante, you can play as Nero. If you get tired of V, you can play as Dante. If you get tired of Dante or Nero, you play as Dante. So it's really cool. In some levels it lets you pick. Some levels it doesn't let you pick, but I think that's fine. I think what it is when it lets you pick, it's just to give you a break from which character you don't want to play as and let you play as the one you do. But what's cool is it adds this online mode that where if you're playing as Dante, say, the other people could be playing as Nero or V in that mission that you got to choose, which is really cool, I think. But I think it's a cool idea that's not executed very, like, amazingly. Like, it's cool and all, but, like, half the time you can't even see them. Like, they're beyond, like a wall or a barrier or anything like that, or on like, a high thing to where you can't even see them. Like, I was playing as Nero, and I could see, like, the destruction of V, and I could see, like, where he blew stuff up and the bridge collapsing, which is cool in the cutscene, but I couldn't, like, see him himself. Like, there's only one point specifically where I remember seeing the actual person that was there, and that was because, like, they were with me in a mission, because they were, like, teaming up or whatever. So, yeah. So, just to recap, what I think what makes the game really fucking great is the gameplay. It's just, you got so many combos, so many upgrades, everything. Dante gets a ass load of shit to work with. Nero is fun to use at the beginning, especially. They don't overuse any of the characters. Yeah, so it's really unique, and I like it. And the gameplay itself, I would play this game for just hours on end and just have fun with it. This is the last game that I can remember where I sat down and actually played it for like 5-6 hours straight, just because I was having fun and I like it. But with that, we're gonna get into the bad. Yeah, so the biggest problem this game has from making it amazing is its story. It's just, the story is not, the story sometimes just doesn't make sense. But I'm sure that people that play DMC don't play it for the story, but it would be nice if it was still good. Like, the story, the first half of the game, I understood the story pretty well, and I'm not a DMC fan. But then it starts getting to, like, some batshit crazy stuff, like, at the later half of the game. So, yeah, I mean, I understood it for that half, but I think this game relies on you having prior knowledge of the series, but, like, doesn't work like something like God of War, where you could pick up that game and know what's going on. Like, it's another dimension. You don't really got to know about his past and what he's done, because it's like a soft reboot kind of thing. I mean, I understand this isn't a soft reboot, this is a sequel, but, like, for instance, a game that has done this, that kind of makes it appealing to new fans. The side characters in this game have nothing to do. I don't know anything about Trish and Lady, and I knew nothing about it when the game ended, so I knew nothing about them. Like, I don't know anything about them. They don't really add anything. I feel like they were just here for fans, because they don't do anything but just sit there in the van and chill, and they don't really have anything to do. Like, they don't have any moments to shine or anything like that. They don't really add anything to the story at all. And, like, yeah, so, I mean, I don't really... There are some points where I thought they were gone, and I didn't remember that they were in the game until they showed up again. I was like, oh, fuck, they're in the game. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember. But they don't really add anything. They don't do anything. They don't help you fight or anything, except for, like, one mission. But the only character, the side character that's kind of good is Nico. She kind of adds a little bit to the game, like, doing stuff for Nero, and a nice opposite of like Nero, like kind of like Deadpool and Cable in the Deadpool movie, kind of like they're just opposites and they work together in the game, which is pretty cool. Also, this game is super fucking predictable, like super predictable. I'm not a DMC fan, and I could tell where the story was going, so I can only imagine what a DMC fan can like. I'm only wondering what a DMC fan could tell what's happening. Like, I'm sure they could just tell from a mile away what's going on and what's going to happen. Like, it's super predictable. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say Capcom did a bad job of trying to hide their twists, but like, it's kind of obvious. So I don't know. That was only like one of the things I didn't like about it. Also, like I said earlier, the story requires you to beat Urizen like 500 times, so after a while it can get a little jarring. So yeah, Urizen's the big bad, and you know, you gotta fight him 1,000 times until you finally, until something happens in the story, and then blah 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 and stuff like that. The only gripe I can give with gameplay wise, is that Nero and V don't get nearly as many weapons / variety as Dante, because he gets like a full arsenal by the end. And so yeah, Dante has like this is how it is. Like, Dante has about 20 weapons. Nero and V have about like 3. Like, it's not even close. Like, Dante has so many fucking weapons, and I understand Dante is the main character of Devil May Cry, but it's like, once you go to a certain point, you place Dante and you go back to Nero. Like, once you place Dante and you get all those weapons, and you go back to Nero and V, it's like, well, this is kind of like jarring a little bit, because, you know, Dante just has all this shit you can use, and Nero and V are still using the same stuff that they've used in the beginning of the game, so it's like, I'd kind of rather use Dante. But, you know, other than that, as a non-DMC fan, I enjoy this game a lot, and I look forward to the next one if they make one. I do think this game deserves more recognition as like a hack and slash type of game, because we don't really get those anymore, and this is a pretty amazing installment. And my only like knowledge of the DMC series is the reboot, but other than I like this DMC 5. I think if they can improve their story for future installments and keep up the amazing, like, fun gameplay, I think the next one could honestly be amazing and be one of the best games of that year and stuff. And so you guys should definitely check this one out if you get a chance. I'm going to give this game a rank of 8 out of 10. Like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
That bastard called me deadweight! I didn't come all this way for nothing!